Oh, no.
No, it's like...
I can't hear you.
Oh, you cannot hear me now?
You're right now I can. You are so frozen and glitchy.
After we just spoke about it. Am I frozen and glitchy now?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Right. I'll stop you if it happens. I'll say,
Yeah.
Can't hear you. Exactly.
Well, I wanted to almost like you began with, tell me what you were saying at the beginning before I started recording. Again, can you?
Oh, I'm just so stressed out this week because I do a supervision session last Thursday. I learned so much, but I'm also learning how much I don't know. And I feel like part of it is that's expected, yes.
Yeah.
But part of it is I don't even have time to do the reading that I want to do, to be learning more, to be better. Because I keep just going to each session, not having time to take what I'm learning from my supervisor to do a little more reading. So I'm trying to look at my schedule and fix it by blocking out the time to get caught up on papers. But should be my time that I'm teaching myself, because I am already blocking out time for supervision and meetings.
Yeah.
But sometimes it feels like, I don't have enough time to learn. And I just feel scared, probably.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like this feeling that I don't know everything.
Oh, man.
And when I talk about a client, it goes, I wasn't picking up on that. And that's really important. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I do.
So it's scary.
It is scary. Last night we did in our class some practice rounds, like practice questions for the board oral. And one of the questions I got was around how would I approach working with a know-it-all supervising. And like,
yikes.
Here's the opposite story. However, I want to sit with that for a minute. I answered that I would approach it from within the context of the anxiety of being a learner and how difficult it is to settle into that and be present with what it feels like to not know, and that it's okay, that you don't need to know all the answers. So even though what you're telling me is like the opposite of what my question was, I feel like the answered approach is similar. That at this stage in your career as a therapist, there's so much anxiety about what it feels like not to know.
Absolutely.
And in that example, the person manifested or responded with acting like a know-it-all, and with you, like you're doing, it's the opposite. You're just sinking into like some place of, it's huge anxiety about I don't know enough.
Absolutely, yeah. So I just had my anniversary there at the new office. A year ago this week. And I remember that first day. And of course, the first 90 days weren't counseling at all. It was advocacy and all that stuff. So I feel so different now. And I think it's just a compilation of everything, not just a new counselor. It's just been a hard season. How many seasons? Spring, summer, now we're in the fall. It's been hard 3 seasons. So I think it's part of that too.
And I think I would, like, even in that example, although I didn't give this as part of an answer, if it became, I've learned in this course about the 3 roles that a supervisor will move between, either over the course of development of their supervisee, but also even within a session or between teacher, counselor, consultant. And I've definitely felt in our experience together that I've had opportunity to be all of those with you, sometimes teaching something that you just wouldn't know because maybe I made it up in the moment, so no one know, or just some skills that I've acquired over time. And then, and certainly from my perspective, I'm not sure if your experience is this, but certainly more of a consultant. And the consultant role is when it feels evident that less holding needs to happen, where there's more like, you've got this now, I want you to rely on your own abilities, encourage that. But also consultant can be more, you've got the skills, but like I would seek consultation. Anybody should seek consultation. So there's that fine line between supervision and consultation. We're both colleagues. We just need a sounding board. And I think it's important to continue to do that. And I have seen definitely that in our relationship. I've never thought of you. And I think I sort of owned or admitted at the beginning of our supervision, relationship, that I might have been assuming more because of my, experience of you. I see you as a colleague. You're not, you, really, I really do. And I have a strong sense of your abilities, expertise, and years of experience. And that, if I hadn't become more aware or more in touch with your place of anxiety around being a brand new learner, I might have missed some of what you needed or imposed that on you in some ways.
You're not there. I'm guessing you're seeing. Yeah, we're there now. I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know why it's giving me
That's what happened yesterday with that client.
I know, and I'm sitting in the very same plot I always do, and it says I only have a medium signal when I'm supposed to have a strong one sitting here. Am I good?
That's ridiculous.
You got me?
Yeah.
Okay, because
you finished your last sentence, and then it did that.
Okay, so. I have. If I have to, I can switch computers. This is the one that's not right in the Ethernet. This is just using the wireless signal, but I think we should be good. Anyhow, so where was I going with that? Oh, so this is a moment where I might dip into, and the counselor role is using my counseling skills and, not being your counselor, but being a counselor, so that this would be where I might encourage some more reflective, personal, like, what's happening for you here stuff. And then, we might identify, hey, I'm not going to be your counselor here. We can do a little bit of work around this, but maybe this is something, I'm just saying as an example, but maybe if this continues, maybe this is something to bring to counseling and see if there's something there that that you can do to sort of lift that obstacle, if you will.
Yeah, that would be a great way to say it.
Yeah. So,
because that's been the first two parts that you describe are very similar to what my supervisors have said.
I think we've
because
all
they
learned.
work with a lot of supervisees. They see a lot, and I'm coming to them with a different level of experience, although I'm very new because it's life experience, right? And they also say that I do have the insight about where I need to work. It's just this past week, it was just too big to manage, all the thoughts that come with that. You know what I mean? I'm right. Because I like to ask lots of questions. I have tons of questions. I want to keep asking about this, about that. Just because we're able to, a 2-hour session, by the way, with your supervisor, I find better and deeper than 1-hour sessions.
Yes.
So I don't know as you move forward if you're able to book that.
That would be great.
For me, it's hard and long, but it's way better in the learning for me to have that time with my counselor. But so having that time, we go deeper into the clinical piece. And I'm getting better at looking at my client, bringing the right questions to my supervisor so that I'm like learning from her. Oh, okay, great. Yeah. And then I can get to action on it. Then I'm off the phone. I'm off the session. I have to get to action with it. It's like sometimes it doesn't go the way that I thought it would go.
Oh, no.
So I take what I learned, and not in a bad way. It's just heavier.
I meant when I said, oh, no, it sounded like, oh, no. But what I meant was, oh, no. Of course it doesn't. Yeah. Well, because this is formally our last practice supervision session for me. And so I say formally because first, I mean, I know you know this, but here I go. I know you know this. Like, I just make assumptions. You might know this, but I am so deeply appreciative of your willingness to join me and support me in my learning around supervision. And and it's been a wonderful experience for me. I couldn't have asked. I feel so lucky to have had you as my supervisee for this. Yeah, for sure. And I say formal.
I just wish we could have done it in person.
Right? We could have done it. I know. How many times do you say that a week about everything?
Oh, everything.
So I say formal because I don't need to do this anymore for my practice, for my class, but I've enjoyed it so much, and I just want to leave the door open for. I'm here, I've benefited from it so much, so I feel like you're doing me a favor, and I love how you just want to dip into different places when you need different things, and so I just never want you to hesitate. I'm always available for consultation, for, exploring. Absolutely. I mean it completely 100%. So, I enjoy it and I learn from it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about the fact that it was a good fit because I'm seeing 2 different types of supervisors at the beginning of my LAC phase. And I thought, well, maybe I could give her some feedback, what it's like and what things my supervisors do that maybe would be helpful to you.
Absolutely.
So you can ask questions too.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Thank you. It's just when you're I don't know if it ever goes away, but certainly when you're a learning therapist, it's so bizarre it's such a weird profession. The training, we don't get to actually see people in action that often doing the thing.
Right. That's right.
Or we might see an example of some expert on a video, or, it's just, you don't sit in.
Yep. Yep. I am always asking people to, in a peer review type of thing, or I'll hear them say, oh, I had to handle this case this week. Oh, well, tell me about it. what happened? What did you say? How did you do it? What steps? Because I'm like wanting to, in a sense, recreate it so I can actually see it.
I know.
And understand it, you know?
I know. It's wild.
You're isolated otherwise.
It is very isolating.
Reach out. You're just like in your...
Yeah. There's something really liberating about learning and then closing the door and not having anybody witness it or doing it your own way, right? Because that's hard. But then Absolutely. It's also, like you said, isolating. Well, back to that case scenario of the know-it-all versus, if I think that I would like shutting down a know-it-all seems really like that would be challenging. But like with you, the opposite, it's like, oh my gosh, you know so much. How do I let you know that? And that's where it kind of goes into the place of, personal stuff. Where does this come from? Like, I love that you're so eager and you're a sponge and you just want it all. And I think you should always, I am always still like that. But how much does that interfere with your confidence in your abilities and what you are doing? And is there a backstory there that comes from more personal stuff? So,
totally stuff like perfectionism.
Well, I hear that. I know.
Yeah, so. Just being. My phone is ringing, which means my watch is ringing, and I'm not answering because I don't know who you are. Sorry. Annoying.
It's too much.
Just distracted. Too much, right? That imposter thing.
Yeah.
Because, I just did my second 6-month evaluation with my supervisors, and I sent it in to the board. And of course, great. I'm right in that, where I'm in the beginning of my time, I'm in a good space. I'm in a perfect middle zone with some 7s and 6s, some 4s, maybe a 3, but most of it is like that 5-6 range, which is pretty good for a beginner.
Yes.
It's amazing. And then I feel like, well, if they only could see how sometimes I'm afraid, I don't know what the heck I'm doing or what am I using in the session, because I'm really battling this client-centered, child-centered belief system. So what I want to do is then start leaning into, is it Adlerian? Is it, this over here? What is it? And I want to read it to see it and know it, because I need to be able to explain that.
Okay.
And know how to use it. And so I think I'm in a transition.
Yes.
At the same time of being very new.
So, yes. Okay.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. And then I'm going to apply this framework that, well, I think that people who hang out with me long enough will just maybe get tired of me saying, here's the framework. This is the framework of creativity, where there's that place. You said transition. There's that place between where I am now. Am I gone?
You're not there anymore.
Am I back yet? You. Not anymore?
Okay, now I can see you.
Okay. It's weird. That place between where I am now, where I will, where the creation will, what the creation will become. This is creativity. Mm-hmm. And that liminal space of all the unknown. And it's the most terrifying place. And as an artist, I think you've probably been there and as a mother, there's forces within us that just say, gone.
Again, we're disconnecting.
Okay, I am going
to reconnect.